Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our
This is
channel.
Jake with Escaping Paradise. What comes to your mind when you think of North Korea? Most people think of nuclear weapons, Kim Jong-un, human rights, and poverty. How would you answer if I asked, do you think people in North Korea do drugs? Based on the nature of North Korea, its harsh punishments and intense surveillance system, you may think that it is a drug-free country. But here is the big surprise. North Korea is a drug heaven where drugs are cheap, easy to access, and you won't go to jail for using them. It is so cheap that even junior high and high school kids can buy them. When I say easy to access, I mean that it is overflowing with sellers in every town and marketplace. You can do drugs every day and you won't be arrested. There are two main drugs that are obvious in North Korea. One is heroin and the other is meth. In North Korea, most people don't even think of meth users as drug offenders. I mentioned before that you won't go to jail for using meth. It is actually illegal, but the use of meth is so widespread that the government doesn't have control over it. If they incarcerated meth users, about more than 30% of the population would be in jail. If that many people were in jail, the country would not be able to function. That's why I call North Korea a drug heaven, or more precisely, meth heaven. Meth began to spread across North Korea in the early 2000s. By the mid-2000s, using drugs became the norm for everyone, from students, housewives, general office workers, to government executive workers. During that time, half of the people in prison were put in jail because of crimes related to meth. They were put in jail not just for using meth, but because they mass-produced it and or sold it. In the process of buying and selling meth, there was a rampant fraud, violence, and even murder. Usually in North Korea, people start drinking in 11th or 12th grade, but now high school kids in urban areas use meth for recreation. At this point, you may be asking, how can students afford to purchase drugs for recreation, like you would purchase gum at the market? As I mentioned earlier, North Korea is the cheapest place to purchase drugs. 1 gram of meth is about $14. I looked up news articles and learned that in South Korea, 1 gram of meth is about $2,400. The price difference is over 170 times. These days, meth is so common that it is one of the favorite products that are essential to have on holidays. North Korean meth users blindly believe that meth is the cure for all medicine, from common cold to all kinds of inflammation to strokes even. Do you know what symptoms a meth user has? You can tell who's been abusing meth. They are happy for no reason. Their eyes are dilated, filled with energy, talk super fast, and they become so generous that you can ask them for anything and they would probably give it to you. They are just so happy at that moment that nothing else matters. They don't think to eat anything. Well, they don't think period. It's so hard to be around them because they talk way too much. They confess everything from birth to now until the meth wears off. I asked my friend what it feels like to take meth, and he said it is a feeling of wanting to walk to the ends of the earth and beyond. I cannot imagine what that must be like. Because of ignorance, meth has become a part of daily life in North Korean society, regardless of age or gender. Housewives go buy meth when they have headaches. If they feel depressed, they turn to meth. Students use meth so they can stay up all night to study during exam week. And overweight government officials use it to lose weight. Some say it prevents strokes, while others say meth gets rid of sinus infection. The point is, North Koreans truly believe that meth is a cure for all medicine. This first belief is related to the poor medical system in North Korea. Even if you go to the hospital, there's no medicine. You get prescription from hospitals and buy medicine from marketplaces. You may or may not find the medicine at the market. Then someone will surely say meth is better and you will go buy it. When patients use meth, they forget the pain and feel happy. so they take that to mean that they are cured. The problem is that meth induces extreme euphoria, so once you stop taking it, you suffer a deep loss of pleasure. Then depression takes its place. It means there's nothing else that can make you feel as happy other than meth. What happens then? You keep using it to feel the unnatural sensation. Then the body becomes accustomed to meth, and you keep increasing the amount. A few of my friends used meth, and one of them died suddenly of a heart attack while talking. He had overdosed on meth. This dependence on meth becomes so strong. You may try drugs once for fun, but it is highly addictive, so you may not be able to stop. It is wise to just never begin using it in the first place. Honestly, North Korea is lagging behind in most things, except in chemistry for malicious uses. There are quite a number of advanced chemical engineers. So the chemistry engineers began making drugs for sale when they had difficulty putting food on the table. Hamhung, the center of North Korea's chemical industry, is the manufacturing center for drugs. Most chemical engineers work in Hamhung at one of the facilities listed. These people make meth after coming home from work. They have a whole chemistry lab set up in a shed at their homes. Because North Korea is a place with no common sense, people smoke cigarettes or do drugs with the baby laying right by them. So babies are exposed to drugs without choice. Sometimes in the news, you can see Kim Jong-un at a school or kindergarten smoking in front of the kids. It is the rise of another form of human rights violation stemming from ignorance. While individuals from various places in North Korea make drugs, the North Korean government manufactures much larger quantities. Their objective is to smuggle drugs abroad to make profit. The drugs are stockpiled for war purposes too. If soldiers take drugs before a battle, they won't be afraid of anything and feel like superhumans. Meth also minimizes the sensation of pain if they are hurt in combat. Even if North Korea wanted to regulate drug use, it would be difficult because the government officials themselves use drugs and profit from them. In fact, meth is a very popular form of bribery in the government, second only to money. Bribery has become such an integral part of the regime that the North Korean government would probably shut down without bribery. The police, who should be cracking down on drug users and sellers, are users themselves. I had a friend who was a policeman. One day, he arrested someone who had 80 grams of meth. He confiscated it, took 40 grams for himself, and replaced it with the same amount of alum powder. The police don't check the content of confiscated drugs. They only care about the amount of drugs confiscated. My friend used the 40 grams of meth he confiscated every day, like some kind of a dessert after lunch. I worried. By now, he might be dead as a result of his addiction. At the rate it's going, I think North Korea may collapse on its own because of drugs. In fact, those who have defected recently say that probably 70% of people in North Korea use meth. The international community must raise concerns about the drug problem in North Korea. It is another human rights violation, especially for the kids in North Korea. It is a serious problem within North Korea, but it is also a problem internationally because of large quantities smuggled abroad. Everything North Korea does is poisonous and harmful to the world. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching to the end. Please like and subscribe to my channel. See you next time with a new video.